Crown Vic Nation, YouTube, what's going on, everybody? Figured I've been AWOL for a minute. Well, I come back with something right quick. As you know, this is a built two valve situation. Um, Originally was supposed to go four valve everything, but since I had leftover two valve stuff, I figured we go ahead and experiment with this versus going with the four valve. So for anybody who questions me about having a four valve setup, indeed, I do have that. That will be coming up shortly with a aluminum block, and it's going to be a unique situation. So anyway, let's get to what's going on here. As you know, I am AEM right now. Shout out to AEW to TNT. Shout out to them. But AEM, I do have their fuel pump, and they have a couple other things that I'm probably going to look at also. This right here is their wide band setup. They send you instructions on how to change the bezel and everything like that. They also send you instructions how to hook it up, which you get the wire right here, which grounds, a couple other things it does, but like I say, you get the instructions here for this wire right here, and as you can see, those are the things that it will do when you get the instructions. So I think I'm trying to get the focus. But yeah, they give you the instructions to give you the O2 sensor wire right there. This is the wide band right here. This is not the digital flex fuel one they have. This one is about $100 cheaper than that one, which is an E85 Pacific. Come on. Anyway, that's an E85 Pacific wideband right there. They send you that. They send you the actual wideband sensor, which this connection hooks this connection. They do send you another bezel. I'm going with black because it's blacked out. They send you another bezel that's silver with white background. They also send you this piece. This piece came in the package connected to the back of the wideband, so I'm going to figure out what I got to do with that. They also send you a weld-in bong, which, as you know, I'm doing free flowing exhaust, not cap delete, guys. Remember that. Free flowing exhaust. That's how we're going to do that. And I received the wiring diagram for 2011 Crown Victoria Grand Marquis. Now, this manual will coincide with 2010 and 9. And I say that because the transmission of the 2009, 10, and 11 will fit this book right here. The 9 has the same thing as a 10 and 11 as far as the wiring harness to do with the engine. Now, I didn't check any of the tail lights or anything like that connections because I know Ford did switch those around. I know you cannot switch earlier years to later years because Ford switched to connections specifically, even though they all look the same. But as far as engine harness and transmission harness, 9, 10, and 11, and it does have information about police. It shows you the connectors, what connectors is what. It shows you the grounds, and like I say, it shows you how the car is wired up. Here is the dash, it shows you the transmission harness, how that's hooked up and everything. This one shows you the connectors and what to test and what to go through. So it is a troubleshooting guide. So I recently received this. This is also something you guys would get if you're doing, some major modifications. Also, we have the SCT tuner here, which is going to be the main tuning device, data logging device. And when you data log, you're going to need this piece of equipment here also. And what this instructions right here tell you to do, it tells you how to hook it up to this device, which the data logger was going to be the SCT tuner. And it gives you full instructions on how to hook this whole uh, system up. If you flip through it, it tells you how to mount the O2 sensor, which is very important to getting it to function right. It tells you all the access ports, any errors. It tells you a couple different things that you're going to need to know. And the reason for me using this cord is because if I send someone a data log, they will be able to pick up what the O2 sensor is seeing. That way, I'm not telling them, well, it at this RPM it went this and that. No, they'll be able to see it on the data log, what this is seeing. So that's why you need the analog cord, because it hooks to the back of the SCT tuner like so. Or should we go, wow? So, obviously this part right here goes into your OBD2 port, which is right here for a lot of you guys who didn't know. And then the analog cable goes here. And also, what this cable allows you to do is, besides the functions that it is able to monitor, such as, I believe, throttle position and a couple other things, you could hook. They allow you with this cord to not only hook up. See, in this cord, let me see if I can find it. I just have it over here. Let's put it down here somewhere. Okay. It comes with instructions. They covered them up, but you can hook up. Yeah, SCT. Yeah, just cover up the pinouts. Okay, instead of putting it on the side. Obviously, on the back, SCT had an issue with the EPA about the emissions and turning, the EGR and everything, deleting cats. That's why I say, guys, we have to say free flowing exhaust, not cat delete, because obviously you never got these on vehicles until the EPA got in trouble by the government over being able to use these devices to turn off cats and the emissions that this one can turn off. So we're going to go free flowing exhaust versus cat delete, but this will allow you to ground the black and I believe red and use the other four colors to data log the wide band. And let's say you add an oil pressure sensor. You can data log oil pressure. You add it to the fuel pump. You can, data log what the fuel pump is doing specifically off this device, because the Crown Victoria computer will only let you see a certain amount of things. So you have to be careful in what you want to data log, using this wire, because this wire allows you to use two different um, connections. Like I say, I'm going to use right now the wide band, and I potentially could put an oil pressure sensor to that. So um, that's the goal with this particular wire. And this wire will hook to this one. I have to get the specific colors, but they put it in the instructions right here. Actually, it will hook, the colors will be brown and pink. So these brown and pink wires will hook to the analog wires on here, and that's that. Also, I've been working on my intake tube right here, which will replace this tube right here. So the reason I stopped is because I need to put this on the vehicle in order to measure the angle that this need to be. And then obviously I got my straight right here, and my straight, I'm gonna have to see where I need to cut it, or cut this one for my straight, and then it will hook to the cone filter right here. So it will eventually, whatever happens, this will eventually hook up to here, and I would just simply get some silicone, uh, you know, couplers like I did, for the throttle body. And I know I got some YouTubers asking about my throttle body setup, which this indeed is a F-150 70 millimeter throttle body. You will have to get the throttle body modified, and you could go to, mostly any machine shop that has a drill press that can give you, a most accurate type of angle. Um, you know, this right here is definitely a power improvement, with the professional products, not the trick flow, professional products. You can find this plenum. I think you can find it, if you go on eBay for maybe 30, 40 bucks, and modify it just how I did. Just take the stock one, cut, you're going to need this, and this one over here. And simply, I used, this is a different type of fitting. I put the other one right here. And then I've been doing some cutting. And these are the other pieces that you will simply JB weld. One like what? This will go in here eventually. And then this one will go in the back right here. And the back right here where I got this one at. And this one I'm going to take out, because I'm going to strip this down again, primer it instead of just paint it, just primer it. I'm not going to paint the throttle body, I'm just going to primer the back of it. So that's that. So yes, I know we got a new YouTuber subscriber asking about this. Yes, this is definitely an improvement. Bigger mouth, definitely could take in more air. And this is a cam situation. I do have a cam for any of you guys. I will get to the block around this weekend. I'll show you that. Appreciate you guys sticking around for this and let me explain some things to you. And yeah, just showing you that, and that a lot of things that I in my new. Oh, I should say I got some exhaust tips also. Woo, boy, right there. Some exhaust tips with the 2-inch exhaust to go into into the free-flowing exhaust. I mean, these are probably 3.5-inch tips. So I did pick these up for a great price. Can't wait to get these on there. So YouTube, I appreciate you sticking around. See you guys next time. I'm going to have information about the block. Hopefully I'll have the cams in there for you guys. get that thing timed up and ready. And then I'm going to show you the rack and pinion setup next. So YouTube, appreciate it. Crown Vic Nation. This is a long journey. Stick around. Let me teach you how to do it right, beginning to end. Crown Vic Nation, appreciate it.